We mentioned the APPG in their report about preventing falls from height previously. I want to just kind of look at some of the numbers here for you. In that report, from reliable information from Office of Statistics, it is stated that more than 10 million workers and over 1 million businesses in every industry sector, from scaffolding to cleaning and everything in between, the list is endless, work at height every year. That's a lot of people working at height, and if you're working at height, you are to a greater or lesser extent at risk of falling from height. And the ones who are at the greatest risk are those who work at height all day, every day. Please don't misunderstand me when I'm talking about this, and I don't mean to sound all doom and gloom. We, in the UK, have an enviable record in safe working, with some of the lowest accident and fatality rates of any developed country, and we're seen as being at the forefront in safe working at height. And if you reflect on some of the numbers that Paul gave earlier in his talk on looking back on the history of PASMA, when PASMA was formed in 1974, there were 400 plus fatalities as a result of falls from height. This year there were 40, or that last year there, 147 people killed, 40 as a result of a fall from height. And I've said to people before, since the day and hour I got involved in this work at height industry, it has always been the case. Falls from height, #1 cause of fatalities, and pretty high up there in the case of injuries. If you look at the comparison between the provisional figures for 2018-19 and you look at the 5-year average, since the enactment of the Health and Safety at Work Act in 1974, we've seen a steady decrease in the accident rates with some minor blips in between. Since they started recording causes of accidents, and as I said to you before, for as long as I can remember, and as long as I've been in the industry, falls from height have been the #1 cause of fatalities and serious injuries. In 2019, ain't any different. But as awful as the fatality statistics are, they're not the only problem. We know that for every fatality, there are a greater number of non-fatal injuries. And we know that some, in the case of falls from height particularly, probably most of these survivors will have life-changing injuries. The sad fact is that we in this sector probably all know somebody who's had a fall, so-called lucky ones. They could be left with life-changing injuries that might prevent or restrict the work they can undertake. And they're usually, if they're lucky, given light duties back at the yard, keeping the racks tidy, servicing fittings and things like that. But many never return to work, ever. And let's not forget that falls from height affect families, friends and workmates as well as the victims themselves. And that's before we even think about the long-term damage to a company's reputation, potential prosecution, increasing larger fines, and maybe even the jail. If we take a look back over a longer period, the numbers are frightening. Since 2012, there have been nearly 200 deaths. So, take that, this place empty. Almost 30,000 incidents where a fall from height has resulted in a non-fatal injury. And the cost to society, to us, is considerable. To the 198 families who've lost a father, a husband, a son, a mother, a wife, a daughter, the cost is incalculable. And for the lucky ones, the ones who have survived, the cost is heavy and ongoing. When you consider the effect of a life-changing incident where people have survived are confined to a wheelchair, need lifelong care, either cannot work or have to work in a different capacity. Unlike other non-fatal injuries, falls from height, tend to be pretty serious. Now we could accept that, and we could say to ourselves, working at height is dangerous. The attrition rate is what it is, always has been, always will be. Or we could say it's not on, and we need to do something about it. At the same time as we formed the APPG, we also created this charity, the No Falls Foundation, and this is why we've formed this charity. It's the first and only charity of which we are aware that is dedicated to raising awareness of the life-changing consequences of a fall and objects falling from height. It has 3 key aims, and the charity is campaigning for a change in behaviour through education, research, and providing expert advice. Prevention is a priority. We need to prevent people, we need to get people understanding this issue and the fact that working at height is dangerous and it's high risk and it's very easy to fall. Research will also be a major focus for the charity. It could be that it may be product based, it could be that it's behaviour based, but we need to know and get our fingers behind and understand what it is that's happening. And we also intend for the charity to provide support to those who have been a victim of a fall from height or those who have survived a fall from height. And we mean that in a number of sort of different ways. Firstly, generally what happens is when someone has a fall from height or when somebody has an accident of any kind, you are generally advised by your insurer, admit nothing, do not make any payments, because that could be construed as an admission of liability, or at least an indication of liability. The charity aims to fill that gap and to be there regardless of blame, regardless of how the fall has occurred. But it's also about providing support, for instance, in the situation where you have a survivor of a fall from height, and certainly some of the survivors have related to us and have given us some really pretty heart-rending stories of how the mental health has suffered, and suffered in really quite serious ways. But even down to the really basic stuff of one of the ambassadors for the No Falls Foundation is a young guy called Dylan Skellhorn, and he relates that he never claimed any benefits in his life. He didn't know where to go. So he's had this accident, he's gone to hospital, he's not able to walk again, he's not able to work again, he gets chucked out the other end and he's left to it. The idea is, from the charity point of view, that we will have a means of providing support to get people through that, and that there will be support groups of others who've been through it before them. So finally, to help us in our mission to reduce falls from height, please sign up for the No Falls Foundation newsletter, share our message wherever you can. We are at the very last stages of putting together our corporate supporters opportunities. Contributors will be able to make sustainable contributions to the charity. In return, they will be able to show their contribution and their commitment that they are serious about eliminating falls from height. You can find out more about your interest in becoming a corporate supporter at our website, and that's the website there, nofallsfoundation.org. And you could also book yourself a table or a couple of chairs, even a couple of seats, at the No Falls Foundation inaugural charity ball, which is on Saturday 9th of November at Coombe Abbey, Warwickshire. We intend and hope that this will become an annual event, an opportunity for people passionate about saving lives by stopping falls to meet one another in relaxed surroundings and make a practical contribution to help make falls and falling objects from height a thing of the past.